In this video, I'm going to go over the homework for 6.3. So they give you, use a diagram to the right to complete the following questions. So looking at this, what I'm noticing is that in this diagram, this angle equals this angle, and this angle equals this angle. So I have two corresponding angles equal, and therefore by angle-angle similarity, these two triangles should indeed be similar. So let me name the triangles. If I name the one on the left MON, I need to name the one on the right GHI, and that's what I have here. Okay, so then, what do I know about similar triangles? Their sides are in proportion. Now, it's usually best not to confuse yourself by looking back at the triangles once you have your similarity statement. So, look at what they've done. They've picked the letters MN first for a side. So MN is first and last, should be over GI. That's why I have GI. So MN, right here, should be over GI. Then they pick ON next. ON are the last two letters. That should be over the last two letters here. Next they pick MO, which are the first two letters. That should be over the first two letters here. That's how I do by proportions. That's how I did it in 6.1 for the quiz as well. Okay, so then the next thing, they're using the same diagram, okay? And now they're setting up their ratios. So they say 16, which is ON, is to 12, which is HI, so that's correct. 16 is to 12, just like the missing side X is to, okay, the missing side is MN. MN goes with GI, and GI is 10. That's why I have a 10 here. So, in order to make my math a little bit easier, I went ahead and I put 4 into 16 4 times and put 4 into 12 3 times. Do your cross products, you get 40 equals 3x, and putting 3 into 40, it goes 13 times with one remainder, so it's 13 1/3. Okay? Sometimes you don't get whole numbers, that's okay. So x is 13 1/3. For the next one, they have 12 over 16, and they want to figure out side y. So side y is MO, so they have to put that over, or under rather, side GH. So GH is 8. So yes, I have this constructed correctly now. I had to put the 8 here so that I was in a ratio that matched one of these ratios. Okay, do the same thing. I put 4 into 12 3 times, 4 into 16 4 times. Do your cross products. 3y equals 32. Okay, so when I do my division, I see that 3 can go into 32 10 times with a remainder of 2, so I say 10 2/3. Again, not all numbers are whole numbers, and that's okay. All right, let's slide down. The next thing they say is which triangles are similar to EFG. So you have these 3 triangles. So I tested each one out. Now what I notice is that this is missing an angle. So it has to be 60 because 60 and 30 is 90 plus 90 more is 180. This had the 60, it's missing a 30. So I added the 30 here. I stopped doing anything here because I noticed that this is 35. So right away, I'm not going to have two angles that match these two angles. So that's not similar, but these guys are, because I have at least 2 matching angles. I really have 3 matching angles in each one. So these 3 triangles in a vertical row, in a vertical column, are all similar. This is not. Okay, so these guys are similar to each other. All right, let's keep going. So So which triangles are similar to EFG? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the missing angles. Over here, because these hash marks are here, I know these angles have to be the same, so I see this is 70, this is 70. 70 and 70 is 140, therefore this has to be 40, and this is my apex angle. So looking over here, if this is 40, and these sides have to be the same, then this has to be also an isosceles triangle, so I have 140 of angles, 140 degrees left inside this triangle, divided by 2, I get 70 and 70. Okay, so then come to this next triangle for B. This is 70. They tell me the markings are the same, therefore this has to be 70. That's 140, and 40 more makes 180. So I'm ready to look at this next one. Oh, the second I see this is 45 up top, look, my apex angles, or my vertex angle, are all 40, and 45 here doesn't match. That's not similar right away. Then look back at these triangles. I see that they have at least 2 angles in common. In fact, they have 3 angles in common. So by angle, I can prove that these guys are similar. Okay, moving on to the next one. Determine whether triangle ABC and DEF are similar, not similar, or cannot be determined from the information given in the figure. Okay, so look at these guys. I see I have a missing angle. I calculated here. I need 31 more degrees because when I added 57 and 92, I got 149. I subtracted 149 from 180, and I got 31 degrees. I do not have 2 angles that match because if this is 31, I only have 1 angle that matches. And if this guy doesn't match either of these, that one's not going to match either. They are not similar, and I have enough information to state that. Find your missing angle. Here it's 55. Here it's 77. When I find the missing angle, I do indeed have 2 angles in common. In fact, I have 3. So those 2 shapes are similar by AA. Let me just slide this down a little bit. Okay, look at these guys. I know that this angle is the same, but I don't have enough information. I can't figure out what these angles are without having at least one of them present. So therefore, I'm going to say not enough information. Over here, I see that I have a 90-degree angle here, and these sides are the same. If these sides are the same, that means these angles have to be the same. And if this is 90, I have 90 more to divvy up between these 2 angles. Divide that in 2, and you have 45 in each one. Same reasoning here. If they tell me these angles have to be the same, and I have a right triangle, that means I have 90 degrees left to divvy up between the 2 angles here, because I already used up 90 here, and I need 180 in every single triangle. 90 divided by 2 is once again 45. So these guys are similar by angle. Okay, this is also similar by angle. I should write that in there. So let me do that now. I'm just going to say angle. So I'm going to try to draw this. Now, once I move off the slide, these letters are going to go away. So if you want to have them in your notes for your homework, please write them in now before I move off. Okay, so I have 2 cases of angle similarity that happen in 10 and 12. I have not similar figures here in 9, and I have not enough information to make a determination about similarity in 11. Okay, all right, so let me turn my marker off. 10 and 11, same answer, 10 and 12, same answers. Okay, so let me slide down and see what comes next. So that's the end of the homework. Okay, we have this warm-up. I'm not going to do that in this slide, but this should have allowed you to check your homework.